Like what I've seen is because now that I'm doing more stuff and I'm just reinvesting, even though I'm making like a lot of money, especially for an 18-year-old making shitloads, you don't have money. It's like that's what I've learned. That's why I'm delaying gratification completely.
Honestly, that's the best way to do it. I was actually just going to do a voice note before we got here, but I didn't end up doing it. But it was like a voice note about why I don't have a Richard Mille, why I don't have supercars, why I don't have all these like flashy kind of pointless fucking things. Is because, okay, one, I haven't come from like a rich background. Obviously, I've never really struggled, but I haven't really come from a rich background. So it's like, okay, the money's there. It's like I don't want to lose it and spend it on fucking pointless bullshit. Because my mum's always like, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house.
Same.
She's always like, you have all this money, but it's in a bank account, it's in here, there, everywhere, but you don't have anything physical.
I told her how much I spent. She's like, you could have put a down payment on a house. You could have bought a house. I'm like, Mum,
true, it's gonna come back. Don't worry. But it's like pump everything back into the business, and then you get bigger and bigger numbers, and then buying a fucking Ferrari is like 5% of what you earn in a month. If you earn whatever, like Ferraris are 200 grand, right? So it's like if you get to the point where it literally does not matter, it's like you won't even realize it coming out your bank account. Then I think for me personally, that's a better.
That's the level where you want to be doing it.
Yeah. Like it's also I realize as well. You'll see this because you're young, right? You're 18. I feel fucking old, but I'm 23 now. But 5 years difference. So it's like obviously if you stick along this path and you reinvest all the money back in, you'll see a multiplier every year. So like I remember when I was 18, like I don't know how much I made first year, but as I just put everything back in. Right, there was some months I made like 10 grand, cool, right, whatever. But I put everything back in. I didn't buy a Rolex, I didn't buy anything fancy. I lived way below my means and put everything back in. And then even when I was earning like good, consistent $15,000, $20,000 a month, I was spending fucking nothing. Yeah. Like 5%. That was literally when, I was spending probably like 7% of my monthly earning on living. Like nothing. That's when I had my £375 per month apartment in Knots, and it was a shithole. It was outside Knots. It was a shithole. I wish I took more pictures, but it was a shithole. But the reason why I did that is because I'm delaying gratification. I'm delaying it because I'm earning 15 grand, whereas I'm living in the UK. 15,000 is a fucking lot of money, right?
Most people live on like fucking 2-3K, like,
or like 5.
I don't understand how it's possible.
Bro, neither.
Like when I hear people say, "Yeah, I earn 30 grand a month," I mean 30 grand a year. I'm like, how the fuck do you live off that? And obviously, I'm not trying to be in like a situation where I'm a dickhead, but it's genuine. Like, how is it possible to live off of that?
Yeah, no, like, I feel exactly the same. It's like, okay, 30 grand a year, what, 28 after taxes? It's like less than 3 grand a month. Well, no, it's like 2.5 grand a month. Which is like, fuck, like, bro, I must have spent like $25,000 in the past, like 2-3 weeks. Just like traveling and not even doing anything crazy. No, like I don't really go to the club and buy bottle service, which would be like another 10 grand on that. Like,
it depends where you are as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, flights, accommodation for just like traveling. And then also I've got 2 places. I've got the apartment in Dubai, got a place in the UK. Well. And then also I've got the house, which is like 10 grand in rent. And we just paid electricity this morning, which is like $1,000. Yeah, literally I just paid 1 month's electricity, my share. Actually, my share was like $500.
That's still a lot just on electricity. That's a lot.
Considering I haven't been there for a month as well.
Damn.
And then I got to pay the maid as well. It's not a lot of money, but it's like, okay, like, fuck. I'm not living that crazy. Maybe to
be fair to like the average person, you're living crazy, but like for how much you're making, you're living very.
But within like our circles is the kind of thing, right? It's all based on perspective. That's one thing when earning money, and I remember in Mexico, I said, like, supercars are cheap. Like, okay, that sounds fucking nuts. Saying supercars are cheap as shit sounds nuts.
But at your stage.
But it's like, the perspective is like, okay, they are kind of cheap. If you actually understand, like, the money and things. And this is the thing as well, like, if you're earning 10 grand with Etsy dropshipping a month, it's like, okay, like, really, you know what to do to get to 20, to get to 50, to get to 100 even. You know exactly the steps you need to do. So it's almost like right now, if someone's watching this and you're earning 5 grand a month online and you're doing e-commerce especially if you're doing it with Etsy dropshipping or Facebook ads or something like this, where you can quite quickly scale, you can like pretty much in like 3 months time, you could be earning like 5-10x the money.
For me, and like within like 2-3 months. So from that first podcast to Croatia, I essentially doubled my income. Just not even doing that much work. I just knew what to do. So I must have been speaking to someone the other day, And they were talking to me and they were saying, oh, I've spent 200 hours and I'm break even. I was like, all right, now you know where you're going wrong. For the next 100 hours, you can make a lot of money just because you know where to focus now. Just learn from where you're going wrong. So it's almost like it compounds and it gets easier each time.
Yeah, like literally. That's why like you can double your income
Yeah.
very quickly, triple, quadruple, whatever, like very, very quickly. And that's why it's super good to do like obviously online money and stuff. Like it's
I think people get scared as well because they start making a bit of money and then they start overthinking how hard it is. And then when they hear people say, oh, it's easy, they feel like they're little fish when in reality, we're all basically almost the same in some way, shape, or form. It's super easy, but it's not hard at all. Like, don't overthink it, just do.
That's the thing, like everything's really easy if you really look at it. Like everything's quite fucking
very
easy.
easy.
Because it's like, okay, like you're a year into it, you're earning very good money for your age, just like top 1% for your age. Like if you look at it, if you zoom out and you look at the whole perspective of the whole entire population and you look at the amount of actually work you put in and the things you've endured, it's like, okay, it's not really that hard.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we're in the fucking trenches, fucking like we're not.
I'm in the trenches. I live in the UK, bro. I'm in the trenches.
It's like not that fucking difficult.
I live in East London.
East London, fuck's sake.
Oh, man.
So it's like it's not that hard. And if you kind of understand like, okay, other people with my same IQ, my same intelligence, basically gone through the same upbringing that I have. If you guys are in the UK, you've pretty much gone through the same exact shit. US, pretty much any first world countries, exact same fucking circumstances for the most part. And you understand that like everyone else that's killing it right now has probably just been in it longer than you have and have just stuck with it. And they've just got a little bit more perseverance than you and a little bit more dedication than you. And that's why they're killing it.
Consistency is key.
And if you understand that, also, you don't get jealous of other people. Because that's a big thing I see.
For me, when I first started out, I would get jealous when I'd see people making... I even mentioned on the podcast like this 18-year-olds making so much more than me. But then I've had the perspective shift of how long have I been in this and how well am I doing? And compared to most people doing what we're doing, I'm doing pretty well for how long I've been in it. So seriously, it's been less than a year, but I've been doing it for a year in total.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you're only 18 as well.
Exactly.
You probably are in a better position than I was when I was 18. So it's like, okay, you got 5 years under me. Like, you 5 years to catch up to me. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, like, shit's... I think often people say life is short. If you really look at it and you're doing online business and you're doing different things and you're working hard every single day and you're trying new things and you're doing the correct things, life is actually incredibly long. Like if I look at the past 5 years of me being in business, like I've done so many different things. I've gone from Shopify dropshipping to I actually started filming YouTube videos for like as a consultant. And I started doing that. I was traveling around and then I got into doing customer service and operations for a dropshipping store, then got into dropshipping stores, then got into building brands, then got into Etsy and then building more brands and then doing all these different things in the space of 4 or 5 years is a lot of things.
Life is short if you're being lazy and doing fuck all, but it's long if you're actually fulfilling your day and doing everything possible. And if you're doing a lot of things, life is long.
Yeah.
It's like for me, when people say, oh, it's already 2024, I'm like, I felt like it's been 2024 for ages now.
Yeah, honestly, like, there's so many, and we do so many things as well. Like, we do so many things. Like, even you've been to, like, obviously all the EK trips and you've done other stuff as well. It's like, there's so many things happening always. Yeah. So it's like, nothing's going to come overnight as well. And if you understand that life is long, but also obviously have the fucking urgency day to day.
Yeah, you need
but understand as well, like, nothing's going to happen overnight. Nothing, like, there's no quick success. Like, obviously, a year to be making 10 grand a month is really fucking quick. You don't get that anywhere else, which is quick, but it's like a year.
Yeah.
It's like, it sounds long until you've done it for a year and then you've
like
understood. And
10-year, if you're looking at it on like a 10-year scale, then it's like, if I'm done X amount in the first year, if I keep it continuing, how much can I make by 10 years?
Yeah, like that's the thing. And you actually keep trying new things and actually keep pushing. Exactly. It's like, okay, how can you not be worth 10 million by the age of 30? It's like...
That's quite easy to do if you think about it, yeah.
Or even like 30 million. 30 million, I think, is classed as ultra high net worth individual. That's like when like you're basically kind of completed it to a certain degree. It's like, okay.
You can do everything basically.
20 years is like, can you be worth 30 million? Like, yeah, easy. Like it's not really that far away. And then you're still in your 30s and you're just chilling like...
And just enjoying life.
That's the thing. So I think people are often even probably a lot of people now are like obviously jealous of other people. I think that's one big thing that holds people back,
Yeah.
because they're jealous, but they're not jealous in a way that's going to motivate them. They're just kind of annoyed. And it's
I
like,
feel
that
like that's
doesn't
very
really get
prominent
anyone.
within like the Red Pill community, online money community, because they will always just see people doing the same thing as them for the same amount of time